Leicester City, a team that's caused such major upsets in the past, is doing so poorly now, all the way down at 15th in the Premier League this season with only 2 wins. It seems as if when they lost their former manager Enzo Maresca, they had also lost their fighting spirit. Now do not forget that this is the same Leicester side that won the Premier League back in 2016. However, since then, they've had their struggles with relegation and not been able to prove themselves a solidified Premier League team. So that's where I come in. Man like Lex comes in and attempts to do it all again. So that is right, we are here with Leicester City. Now this one is going to be fun because of the strange history this club has. Now, I mean, 10 years ago was basically the first time we could say Leicester was a recognised team. That's roughly around 10 years ago, because it was only 8 years ago that they had won the Premier League. They were bouncing up and down between the Championship around roughly 10 years ago, a bit before maybe, and then they had that one amazing season with players such as Kante, Mahrez, Jamie Vardy, all in the primes of their careers, smashing everyone, going through it, and won the league. I could have never believed it, honestly. I did not want to believe what I was seeing. And I mean, just looking at this team, it doesn't really scream Premier League winning level to you, does it? I am so worried about this rebuild, because I could easily say with a lot of pride that this team is getting relegated. I don't think there's any Premier League Premier League established players here. I can't name you 3. I don't think Harry Winks is Premier League level, neither is Oliver Skip. They should both be back in the Championship. I mean, Buonanotte is probably the only one I can name to you, because the rest of these are not Premier League level at their current stage. Honestly, this is going to be one of the hardest rebuilds I think I will have to do, because I very well could get relegated in the first season. But if I do, then it's just fighting back and going for it all over again. Fresh start. It's okay though. I think this team can do something with the right tactics. So, I mean, it just depends on what I put out. I think we might go a tiny bit simpler. But again, we have no solid striker. That's another concern with this team. We've got 0 strikers that I am happy to play. Odsonne Edouard is our main striker, and I think he's one of the worst strikers the Premier League has seen. He is not good at all. So, also, I mean, Jordan Ayew's not a striker. Patson Daka's horrible. I don't think I'll be playing him at striker. And Jamie Vardy is genuinely the same age as my granddad. So, it's not working out. We might need to run something a bit stranger. I don't know. I really have no idea yet. But now that I've shown you the team, I think we're ready to sim to the end of the first transfer window to show you our new tactic that we will be running, and any transfers if we have made any. I don't think I will, but just in case, I will show you them. So this is gonna be a difficult one. I'll see you there. Alright, so no transfers have been made, but let's take a look at the tactic that we have, because honestly, I don't even know what went on here. I mean, it looks so weird to me, and when it looks weird to me, you know there's something wrong. I've always had something for strange tactics, but this is next level. I mean, let me just explain it, because I'm losing my head myself. We've got a 4-3-3 technically, but with 3 shadow strikers instead of a winger and a striker. So the 3 shadow strikers will probably be Buonanotte, De Corverid, and Ayew. We will be running it somewhat like this. So the 2 on the left and right, shadow strikers will be having the run wide with the ball instruction on them, so they will be running wide. And we will have Jordan Ayew and the other shadow striker moving upwards towards the box, while that one with the ball is moving wide. So that would either be Buonanotte or De Corverid that will be running wide, and then the other 2 shadow strikers will be moving forward. We've got behind them Harry Winks as a roaming playmaker, which is not great. I'll be honest, it's not a great position. And not a great player either, but he is going to kind of be the one player that we rely on to do okay with his passing. and I don't know how much I trust it. I don't know how much I trust it, but it'll be fine. We've got a deep lying playmaker on support with a ball in the midfielder and on the defend role. We've got a very, very defensive formation here. Let's be honest. We've got a 4 at the back with 2 quite defensive roles as CDMs and a pretty defensive role for a centre mid. So, I mean, it's a pretty defensive formation, and it's really all hoping on 3 shadow strikers to get us some goals. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. So far, it's done quite well, I'll be honest. A 2-0 win away at Tottenham Hotspur is incredible. And a 3-1 win away at Fulham also. I mean, it's a great start. As well as a 1-0 win at home to Crystal Palace. However, just a 1-0 loss at home to Brighton, who have gone undefeated so far. So, I mean, honestly, we've kind of smashed it so far. I think we're going to be running it like this for the rest of the season. I don't know what my hopes are. I think I might up my hopes a tiny bit from avoiding relegation to perhaps somewhere in the mid-tables, I would hope for. But this team does... It looks like it might do something here, so I'm ready to move on. I think the team's ready to move on. I'm ready to move on. I hope you guys are ready to move on, because we are going to be simming to the end of this season to show you our results with this strange tactic. The only word to describe it is strange. With this strange tactic, and see how we've done in the league and other competitions. Alright, so we're here at the end of season 1, and player stats look depressing. The smile just faded from my face. Odds on Edouard as our top goal scorer. Oh my god, look at the average rating. He's on a 6.76 average rating, 11 goals and 2 assists in 28 appearances. That says absolutely everything. I reckon he has been one of those shadow strikers, and it has not worked out whatsoever. Highest average rating goes to Facundo Buonanotte, who is now obviously going to leave us to go back to Brighton. 7 goals and 7 assists. He probably has been our best player this season on a 6.96 average rating. Honestly, we're going to miss him so desperately, because he is a top class player. Let's just take a look at the competitions, because I'm worried now. I think we could have actually gotten relegated here. Okay, that's a big season. That is massive. 54 points is quite big. Okay. Alright. Oh, we won the same amount of games that we lost. I'll happily take it. And some decent wins there. Wow. 2-1 away at Man United. 3-1 at home to Arsenal. Some big wins. Okay. You know what? I'm happily taking that. 9th place is massive. I am very happy. And Man United are 16th. Man United are 16th. I'm sorry. Oh, God. 9th place. That's brilliant. Honestly, I'm taking that so happily. However, now, I think it's time to move on. Next season, this is kind of the tactic that I would like to be running. I'm thinking more of a 4-2-4, because it does provide a bit more balance. We still don't have a striker in mind. So, I mean, this could obviously change depending on what transfers we bring in. But this is kind of what we have thought up right now. We're going to go for something like this if it all does go well within the transfer window. Or if we do sign a striker, then this could completely change. It all just depends on who we sell and who we bring in. This is currently what we're thinking of. Of course, Buonanotte will not be available, so another midfielder could be very useful. But I think this does bring out the best in our team, especially with someone like Mkate, if I'm saying his name wrong. I think he is a very good winger, and I never even realized he was at the club and any good, to be honest, until I looked at him. So he could be a very big player. But there's a lot of work to still be done to this team, because 9th place is a good start, but it's really and truly about how we maintain that next season, because that can go in seconds. So I think we're ready to go to the end of the second transfer window to show you who we bring in to improve our squad and solidify ourselves as a team in the Premier League. Let's go. So we've started off making some sales. Patson Daka has left us for £5 million to newly promoted Premier League team Norwich City, and he actually has been pretty good so far for them, so maybe it was my bad for not playing him at all last season. We also sold Connor Cody. We've sold him off for £7 million to Aston Villa. Now, I mean, with him, it was all about the money, really. He was 32 years old, not much career left in him, and it was great money to get considering we only lost £500,000. We also sold Wilfred Ndidi for £25 million off to West Ham. Now, again, I mean, it was all about the money with him, really. He was an average player for us, and we got a lot of money for him. So we started off our signings with Igo Ogbu from Slavia Prague. He did very well last season in the Czech Republic, so we signed him up for £7 million. Hopefully he can be a big help to the team. We also went out and signed Christian Eriksen on a free transfer. Now, his stamina may be going, but he is still a solidified Premier League midfielder. He's so talented, I believe, and if we play him as a deep line playmaker or somewhat a role that doesn't use his stamina as much, where he isn't moving as much, he's just there playing good passes, long passes, short passes, he can be kind of the heart of the team without moving too much. That is kind of the main hope for him. We've gone and signed Mohamed Diomande from Rangers. He did very well in the Scottish League last season. We signed him up for £15 million. I think he's a very talented centre midfielder and he has a lot of potential in him to do well. And we've gone out and signed a striker. Dominic Solanke has joined us for £10 million. Now, he was transfer listed for very low by Tottenham for not being played last season. They never gave him much game time and he had to leave. So, we went out and signed him. I thought £10 million was a bargain, but so far, it's not looking like it was very worth it. 6.58 average rating is not too good. And the biggest signing of them all, Pedro Goncalves has joined us from Sporting CP for £30 million. Smashed it last season in the Portuguese League, and we thought, yes, it's our time to bring him in. Hopefully he can change the Premier League, which so far he hasn't really done. I'll be honest, he hasn't had the greatest of starts, but I'm sure he will settle into the league as we move on. So we have changed up the tactic from what I showed you at the end of last season. We've gone for something a tiny bit strange. Only a tiny bit, but of course we've got the regular 4-3-3 structure in the midfield and the defenders, but in the attacking three we just have a slight difference. Instead of a left winger, we've gone for a left shadow striker, and Dominic Solanke will be a bit more to the right on a deep lying forward attack to be playing those passes to Fatawu and Goncalves, as well as Diomande, who will be moving up to that left wing in possession of the ball. I think this could work out well for us, and so far in the league it definitely has been. 4th place is a big start, undefeated also, so a couple games here that I think we could have done better in. Both of these draws we could have won, but the wins have been big ones, including a 1-0 win away at Newcastle United, a very big team to beat. I think we've had a solid start to the season, and I'm excited to see how we can do all throughout. If we can maintain that high level of football, we can definitely do better this season. So I'll be simming to the end of this season to show you our results. Hopefully we can do something in the second season and start pushing for some of those trophies and even higher up on the Premier League table. So we're back at the end of the second season, and the player stats are looking a lot better, I'll be honest. Dominic Solanke, our top goal scorer, finally someone is putting away his chances. I still don't think he did as well as he could have, but 20 goals is a big improvement on 11, which is what we had as our top goal scorer last season from Edouard. Highest average rating goes to Casey McAteer, someone who I wasn't expecting to be so high up there, but he has actually done very well in this season. 7.17 average rating, and I believe he was our highest assist also. Yes, he was. 17 goal contributions in 30 games is a very big season for the 24-year-old. Now, I think we've done a lot better, surely, by the player stats, so I think it's time to check. I'm sure we've done better. Okay, you know what? European football is crazy. I can't believe that. 9th place in the league, but on positions, of course, with coefficients, and I believe one other team here. Yeah, we've got 6 teams in the Champions League, so I'm guessing I'm guessing that the Champions League was won by a Premier League team. Yes, Man City won the Champions League. Europa League, I'm sure, was won by a Premier League team then. Let me just check that. Okay, wow. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on here. No idea. Also, I know Crystal Palace were in the Conference League. So Conference League was won by an Italian team. I'm guessing Europa League was probably won. Yes, I'm correct. Europa League was won by a Premier League team. Champions League was won by a Premier League team. So that's 2 extra positions as well as a coefficient spot, meaning that 9th place gets Conference League football. That's very, very big for us, I will have to say. We get European football for the first time since, I believe, 2017 for Leicester. So a very, very, very big season. Even though we ended in the same place as we did last season, it's still a major improvement. But now we need to improve the team to get them ready for European football. Sorry, almost said Champions League, lost my head. This is kind of how I see us running it next season. We've gone for a regular old, we went for a regular old 4-3-3. I think the crazy version was a bit too crazy, and it might be time to change for something a bit more simple, considering we're going into European football next season. Again, this all depends on who we do sell and who we bring in to replace them next season, but this is kind of now what I see going on for us next season. I think we're ready though to take a look at who we're going to replace, because honestly, there are a few places that we could replace. I think centre backs are a key position to replace right now. Both of them are not doing too well, as well as Vestergaard being 33 years old now. That's definitely a place we need to improve on before going into European football. So I would definitely say I would like to sign a key number 1 centre back, but it really all depends on what we can get done. So it's about time to sim to the end of the 3rd transfer window to see who we've managed to bring in, who we've sold, and what tactic we're going to be running for our first season back in Europe. So we've made some big sales, including Oliver Skipp off to Chelsea for £40 million. Chelsea have made him their new number 6 for their season ahead. £40 million is crazy, crazy profit to bring in for Oliver Skipp. And we've sold Dominic Solanke. We've sold him off to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia for £30 million. Now, he wanted to leave when he saw the wages they could offer. I was never going to match that, so it was time for him to go. That marks the end of our sales, but our signings in were quite good. Thiago Santos starts it off, £16 million from Lille. He did quite well last season, so it was time to see if he can match that in the Premier League. And Axel Disasi is going to be our next one. Now, Disasi is not really such a proven player in my eyes, but I think he's talented. He did well for Chelsea, so in the little game time that he had last season, and he was unhappy at the club, so I could have gotten him on a cheaper price. Only 18.5 million, was it? 18.5 million for him, I think, is a bargain. And to partner him in defense is former Chelsea and FC Barcelona centre-back in Andreas Christensen. Now, he left them on a free transfer, and we were the ones who swooped in to bring him in. I think he is a top class centre-back, and hopefully he can do very, very well for us. Another free transfer we've made is Adrien Rabiot. Now, we've signed him on a free from Marseille. He had 2 brilliant seasons in the French league. I mean, someone with just such a big history in his career that we had to bring him in when we saw him available. PSG, Juventus, Marseille, and now Leicester. And our final signing in is one of the wildest ones. Benjamin Šeško has joined for £48 million. We needed to replace Solanke, and I saw he was available. Now, this one, it could either be very, very good or very, very bad. That's how Benjamin Šeško is in this game. He either develops very well or very poorly. So I hope that this is going to be one of those instances where it goes very, very well for us. So taking a look at the tactic, we're running it exactly how I did show you at the end of last season. We're running a 4-3-3 formation with Christensen, Disasi, Christensen and Santos in our back line, Ogbu, Mkhitaryan and Rabiot in our midfield, as well as Fatawu, Goncalves and Šeško up top. Now, this hasn't been the greatest for us, I'll be honest. 1 draw and 2 losses, but those matches did come against difficult opponents. So I have to say, it's fair. Those 2 losses were against Man City away and Tottenham at home. and the one draw against Fulham away. So I mean, those are all 3 difficult games and games that I would expect to get those results in. I'm gonna trust this tactic and really hope that it goes well for us, because I don't see it other way. I think this is the best tactic we can run. We're gonna run it like this. So we are ready to sim to the end of this 3rd season of our rebuild, and really hope that we can push for higher up in the European places for Leicester. And I mean, that Conference League, I really hope we can put a good challenge in it. I want to end somewhere in the semi-finals at least. I would really love if we could win a European trophy in our 3rd season with Leicester. So we're ready to move on to the end of the 3rd season, and I will see you there. So we're here at the end of the 3rd season, and oh my god, we've got a goal scorer on our hands. Benjamin Šeško with 33 goals in 44 games. He has smashed it in his 1st season in the Premier League, and I really hope he can carry that on, because I know how good he is. I think we got a bang for our buck. We got a great deal for our, I think it was 48 million we spent. 48 million. I think it was worth every penny. Most assists goes to Fatawu and also Pedro Goncalves, both of them having pretty average seasons. Fatawu actually a bit better than Goncalves with 22 goal contributions all round this season, which is actually quite a good season, I have to give it to him. But we've got a couple other things like best pass completion going to Christensen, who had a decent season, not the greatest, but it's all about that competition section now. So how do we think we did? Oh, I don't know what to think. We won a European trophy in our 3rd season with Leicester. Wow, I can't believe it. Now let's look at just the competition we faced. There's not a lot in the competition, I'll be honest. There weren't many teams that we could not beat here. I think Fiorentina is one of them, and Real Betis is another one of them, which on their day they would best us. But the rest of these teams, I think we should confidently beat them all away and at home. Round of 16s, we played off against Rijeka. I don't know who they are. Croatian team, Rijeka. We beat them 6-2 on aggregate. Quarterfinals, we played against FC Twente and beat them 5-2. Semi-finals, Luzern in Switzerland, I believe. A 5-1 win on aggregate to go up against Wolfsburg in the final and beat them 1-0 in extra time. That's a massive result. But we did end the league in 15th place. Now, I don't know if I should be upset about this, but we did win a European trophy, and we are also up there on goal scorers. Look, we on tied points with 13th place, only how many 11 points off 8th place, which would have been a European spot. It's really not that bad when you think about it. It could be so much worse. So I think we're all right with it. That was a good season, and I'll take it happily. Let's take a look at the tactic that I think we're going to be running though. We've changed up a couple roles. I think we might still go for something along this shape for next season. It's really just all about the players though. We do need to bring in some extra players in more positions, have more depth, because that is really and truly the main thing. Places to improve on, I'd say a midfielder for sure, because I think this midfield, it needs some more experience in there. It needs someone who's going to put in 100% every single time he plays, and that will get us a great midfield. So I mean, a couple places that we can clearly improve on. I think also centre-backs is another weak position, because both our centre-backs have had pretty average seasons, but it's okay. A couple places to improve on. I'm sure we've got a decent budget now. So we can make a few changes. I'm excited to show you our brand new signings, our new sales, and perhaps a new tactic at the end of our 4th transfer window, which will be with you in just 1 second. So we've made some sales. Pedro Goncalves has left us to go to Juventus for £50 million. He never really ended up working out to the level that I would have loved him to, and I guess it mainly is because a tiny lack of support around him. I didn't think it was going to work out, and I saw the offer there, so we did sell him on. We also sold Casey McAteer. Now this one does hurt. He did very well within his last 2 seasons for us, and that caught attention over in Saudi Arabia. He's now playing for Al Hilal, and he's on £700,000 per week. We were never matching that, so it was about time for him to go. But still, £44 million is big money. We've also sold Harry Souttar for £2.5 million to West Brom. So we've signed Gavin Bazunu as our new backup goalkeeper. as our former backup goalkeeper did leave on a free transfer. We signed him for free from Southampton, former Premier League team, I believe. I think they got relegated now, but if not, they are a Premier League team. He was their backup, so we decided to bring him in. I think he's doing all right, and he has actually gotten a chance to play some games so far, and he did well. Next, our next signing was Orkun. Wow, I can't say that. I can't say that. I don't think I can say that. But without butchering it, I can't say it. Alright, Orkun. We've signed Orkun for £20 million from Benfica. Now, he's done very, very well so far. A 7.07 average rating, 2 goals, 2 assists. From that centre midfield role, he has actually been smashing it. So, a very, very good start to the season from Orkun. We've signed Arta Theatre from Rennes for nothing, for free. We've signed him on a free. He has done very well so far. He smashed it last season in the French league, doing very, very well. And he wanted to leave them on a free. We came in, we swooped him up, and he's doing very well so far. 6.98 average rating so far in 6 games. He's decided to start playing, hasn't he? We've also signed Mohamed Darami. Now, last season he was absolutely shocking in the French league with a 7.6 average rating and 21 goal contributions. We signed him for £39 million, and he has brought that level to Leicester City with 3 goals, 2 assists, a 7.28 average rating in 6 games only. He looks like next level gravy. He's different. Someone who I honestly I don't think I've used him before in a rebuild, but he has absolutely smashed it so far. And our final signing is one of the most expensive ones. I think the most expensive one we've made this rebuild. £66 million for Oscar Glock from Al Ettifaq. Now, he has been doing very well, but it is the Saudi league, of course, so I can't say too much on that. He is a great talent for sure. Someone who I know can develop into something very, very good, and I'm excited to see how he does in the Leicester City team. Now, this is the tactic that we're planning to run. We've gone from very defensive at the start of the save to very, very attacking at this point in the save. We're going for something on the lines of a 4-1-5 is what it calls itself. I think that's a bit of a push, but we are going for something with 2 advanced playmakers as attacking midfielders, 2 inverted wingers, and an advanced striker. We also have an advanced forward, We also have Rabiot as a ball-winning midfielder on defend, so he will be that defensive presence there. Santos, Christensen, Theatre, and Christensen in our defense. I just realized we've got 2 Christensens now. We also have Hermansen as a goalkeeper, who I believe, he was injured so far this season, so Bazunu has been playing. So far in the league, though, we are first. Now, that says everything. We haven't played any big games yet, and we did draw away to Leeds, so don't expect it to keep up, but a very, very big start so far, leaving us first place in the league. I think that is a top start, and we could do well this season. I really hope we do. I believe this is the 4th season now, if I'm correct, so we don't really have a very long time before we need to start competing for that league title, if that is what we are going to go for, which of course is the goal of the save. But is it doable? We'll have to wait and see. I think we're ready to sim to the end of this season, the 4th season, to show you how we've done, if we've managed to bring anything home, and if we can celebrate it by the end of the season. So, end of the 4th season, and it's still looking so much better. It's been improving season after season. Benjamin Šeško, our top goal scorer, highest average rating. What a player. Worth every penny. I already said it. 39 goals and 4 assists in 43 games means 1 goal every single start. 1 goal contribution, every single start. 7.23 average rating is next level. I could not believe it. Mohamed Darami as our highest assists with 35 goal contributions and a 7.17 average rating. He's had an amazing season also. Definitely has warmed into the Premier League very, very quickly. I think this has been a much better season for sure. I could see a top 6 finish here, and that is really and truly the main hope. So let's go into competition and see how we've done for this 4th season, the penultimate season. Okay, we won another European trophy. What? Okay, hold on. We won the Europa League. Wow. Alright, so league phase, and let's just take a look at our competition here, because we actually had some fierce competition. Clubs like Aston Villa, Sevilla, Napoli, Lazio, they aren't going to let us go through easily, as well as Lyon, Leverkusen, Porto, and some other teams there. We made it through to the round of 16s and beat Lyon 3-1, which is a very big result. We played Bournemouth in the quarterfinals, beat them 4-1. Semi-finals, we played off against Napoli and beat them 4-0 on aggregate. Against Aston Villa in the finals, and we beat them 1-0 to secure Champions League football. But that isn't the only time we secured Champions League football, as we did finish 3rd place in the league, only 3 points off of top place. That says absolutely everything. What a season. Wow. I can't believe it. We won the most matches out of every single team this league. That is a crazy stat. We've won more matches than any of these other teams. It's just the fact that we did unfortunately lose more than any of the teams in the top 8. So I mean, that's what leaves us around 3rd place, but it doesn't matter because we get Champions League football next season, and that is the main thing. So tactic wise, this is kind of how we're looking for next season, and it still is the same. I haven't changed it, because if it works this season, I'm sure it will work next season. It all does depend on who we sell, if we do sell players, and who we bring in to replace them. But this is kind of how I envision us going for next season. So I mean, places to improve. I still think centre-back is a bit shaky. That right centre-back now, it kind of needs to be replaced, because Christensen has had a couple average seasons for us, but nothing above average, and that is not good enough for us. Our fullbacks, I mean, Santos hasn't been the greatest, but he's been pretty good. Christensen, I can say he has been good. Rabiot, it might be time to replace him too, because I mean, he's getting on, he's getting older. 33 years old is quite old. Yeah, or perhaps another winger could be used. But all around, very, very good season, and we have something to improve on now. So by far, I have to say, that has been our best season. I think we're ready to move on to the final season's transfer window to show you who we have brought in, who we've let go of, and what tactic we'll be running for the final season, where we have Champions League football to play, as well as some higher expectations in the league. Can we keep up to that? I hope so. So we've made a couple sales this season. We've sold Andreas Christensen to Al Ahly for, I believe, 40 million pounds. We've sold him on because he wasn't doing it good enough for us. Honestly, he wasn't good enough, so we thought it was time to let him go. Great money to get for him, as he was only kind of average for us. I hope he does enjoy his time in Saudi Arabia. And we've also sold the other Christensen. We've sold him off for 30 million pounds to Al Ittihad. Still making good profit off of him, but he wanted to go when he saw the offer, so we did not stop him. So we started off our signings with signing Mikel Merino from Arsenal on a free transfer. He was brought in mainly to be depth, to be honest. I saw him available and we thought, okay, he's good as a defensive midfielder. He can play a bit higher, or even as a centre-back, versatile player. He can do very well for us. He's actually started a couple games for us though, and has been very good so far, so it might prove to be a very good signing. To replace Christensen, we've signed Kostas Tsimikas. Now, I don't know if he'll be our starting left-back, but his experience is something that you don't find often in a player. I myself personally do rate him very highly as a player. I think he is talented. He's got the great crossing ability on him, and I love to see that used in our team. We've also signed Pepe from FC Porto. Now, he did brilliantly last season for Porto on a 7.88 average rating. That is something that doesn't come every day. So we saw him for 23 million pounds available, and we brought him in. So far, in his 6 appearances off the bench, he's been a very, very top class player and has proven well in each of those appearances. And our final signing will be Castello Luqueba. We've signed him on for 67 million pounds, a world class centre back, our most expensive signing by far, but I hope that he will prove worth it because he is of that level. So the tactic is looking the exact same. Instead now, obviously, we've changed our couple players. I think we might be locking in Tsimikas as left back, because I don't think James Justin should be playing for sure. I don't know who they have been playing left back, but it definitely has to be Tsimikas from now on. Obviously, Rabiot will be still staying in that role, but now we've brought in Mikel Merino, and we obviously have Mohamed Diamande to fit into that role whenever we need them to. Our 2 attacking midfielders stay the same, 2 wingers stay the same, and Šeško up top stays the same, of course. So far in the league, we've done very well with it. 2nd place after 4 games, 1 loss against Man United away, and 3 wins, and some big ones there too. 2 clean sheets, 3-0, 5-0 against Middlesbrough and Sunderland, and a 6-1 win at home to Everton. So, great start to the season, but can we carry that on throughout? That is the main question. I really hope we can for this final season and push for that league title, because we've been wanting to bring it back home for Leicester. I think we're ready to move on to the end of the final season of this rebuild, and hopefully we can make it a huge success. So we're here at the end of the final season of our Leicester rebuild, and I'm so excited because I look at the player stats and I see Benjamin Šeško there once again. 49 goals and 5 assists in 54 games means 1 goal contribution a game. That is an insane record once again. 7.27 average rating. What a season from him. Honestly, if I was carrying this on, then he would probably be forcing his way out of the club right now. So I'm lucky that I'm not. Most assists goes to Orkun. He has done pretty decently on assists, but average rating isn't really there. So I guess he hasn't contributed as much as I would have loved him to. But assists are there, so it does not matter. It looks like Šeško has been doing it mainly himself. But compositions, the big button to press. Let's go. We won the league. We won the league. That's all I care about. 76 points. We have beaten the rest of the competition. Who cares? All of you go back home. Leicester is back here to play. Oh my days, we won the league. That is insane. I don't care about the rest of the competitions. Round of 16s of the Champions League is not great, I'll be honest, but it's alright. It's alright. I don't mind. I really don't mind. Super Cup, we did beat Liverpool to win. That is a very big trophy to win. Runners up of the Carabao Cup, so we made it to the finals of that. This is a massive season. We won the league, we won another trophy, making it a double, and runners up in the Carabao Cup, almost a treble in our 5th and final season. I'm happily taking it. Honestly, what a season from us. I think the signings were perfect that we made, a couple of them at least. Darami, a very important signing that we did make. I think this one was an insane one. He is a top player, and I would not have realized it if he wasn't doing so well for Rem last season. I mean, even someone like Pepe, I think that was a great signing, even though he's a bit old now. I mean, honestly, I'm happy with all of it. But in this rebuild, we managed to bring home some finances to Leicester. Obviously, winning the Premier League trophy is the main success of this. Winning 2 European trophies back to back with Leicester City. I think this rebuild has been a major success. So that marks the end of a very big rebuild. Leicester City has been re-established in the Premier League. We've even brought home a Premier League title. I think that was a very successful rebuild. If you guys did too, please leave a massive like on the video as it goes so far. Also, do press that subscribe button and the notification bell to know the next time that I do post. And I'd like to ask you guys to rate my rebuilds on a scale of 1 to 10. A 1 if you think maybe this wasn't the greatest rebuild, and a 10 if you think this was a great rebuild and I can't wait to watch the next one. Any feedback that you can leave does go so far as well. I hope you guys have a great day after watching this, and I'll catch you in my next one.